Welcome to the Woodpreneur podcast, the best podcast for the business and marketing side of the sawmill, lumber, and wood industry. What's a woodpreneur? If you have a business where you make money as a woodworker, sawmill owner, selling slabs, or a content creator, then you're a woodpreneur. My name's Steve Larziliere, and I started Woodpreneur Life, Acres of Timber, and the Woodpreneur podcast just for makers, wood entrepreneurs, and small business owners just like you. We're on a mission to empower thousands of wood businesses to grow sustainably and put out great products. Each week, I interview makers, sawyers, content creators, and 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs that know the wood industry inside and out. With topics covering everything from the urban lumber movement, sustainable sourcing and design, we'll discuss the ins and outs of how to grow, monetize, and fully immerse yourself in the woodpreneur lifestyle. If you're a hobbyist, a full-time wood business owner, part-time entrepreneur who wants to become a content creator, or quit your day job to pursue your dreams, the Woodpreneur podcast is just for you. Thanks so much for listening. Now enjoy this episode. Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of the Woodpreneur Podcast. This is your host, Steve Larziliere. Today's guest is Zach Shrum from Centurion Wood Coatings, and he is the Executive Director of Sales and Marketing. How you doing, Zach?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? How you doing, Steve?
Good. Hey, why don't you tell everybody about Centurion?
Centurion is a small privately owned company down in McKinney, Texas. We are in a suburb, North DFW area. We primarily focus on industrial wood coatings. So we manufacture coatings for architectural millwork, primarily in the cabinets and millwork for cabinets, trim packages and things like that. We use industrial resins for cabinet finishers and things like that, focusing on water-based wood coatings. That's where our R&D is. We don't do a ton in the solvent. We've got solvent coating, so does everyone else, but we really like to focus on the water-based side.
That's awesome. And how'd you get into this industry?
Man, my story is probably one of the craziest ones.
Let's hear it. I like to hear the crazy stories. Yeah.
Man, mine goes back to I had a concrete and tile business. Actually, it goes back, man, almost 20 years ago. Had concrete and tile and bartended in the evening. I had this girl that always came in and just tell me how bad her dates were, horrible dates. So I knew exactly what not to do.
Yeah.
So we kind of started hanging out, and she'd come in all the time. Took her out on a couple dates, and we started dating. Got kind of serious. Got real serious actually. And then she told me her dad was in the painting business, painted houses, residential repaints, and she asked me, said her dad wanted me to help him out. So I went and talked to her dad. Her dad wanted to go help a friend move a sailboat. Said, hey, will you just watch my business? I've got 6 guys that paint houses. All you got to do is check on them, get them paint. That's it. Just 2 weeks. Just watch them, check on them from day to day. Drive my truck. That's it.
How long were you dating your daughter by this time?
By this time, I think we'd been dating about 6 months, 7 months. So he just wanted to go try.
He's a good judge of character. Yeah.
He just figured. I mean, I think really he just wanted to go get on a sailboat for 2 months and 2 weeks, and he didn't have anyone else to trust.
You're
so. I figured, what the hell? I'll do it.
Bro, this sounds like a setup.
So he comes back. He comes back after 2 weeks, and I actually did some bids and got some more jobs for him. And he was like, well, "Okay, this worked out pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Like, you mind doing this for another week? I'm gonna go see some friends." So I was like, "The money's good. Didn't have to do much, so I did it again."
Yeah.
Comes back and. So about a month went by. So we were like 9 months in. We were pretty serious, exclusively dating. We're both in our no, we're both almost 30. I would say we were probably just about 30. And he goes, "Can I buy you out?" So what do you mean? He goes, "I want to buy your concrete and tile business.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna keep it. I'm gonna shut it down, and I want you to run my business." I was like, so I had to think about it. Talk to his daughter, girlfriend, and she's like, "Hey, that's up to you." So I'm still bartending too. So I was like, "What the hell?" So I shut it down, ran his business for about 6 months, and then I asked him, proposed to his daughter. We got married, and then within, I don't know, 3 months of getting married, I bought the business from him.
Whoa.
So I bought the business from him after about 3 months because he was ready to retire. I ran it for almost a little over 12 years.
Whoa.
My wife's in government contract work.
Yeah.
She got offered a job in Dallas, a promotion to go to Dallas.
Yeah.
So I go to Darrell, my father-in-law, and I say, "Hey, DK, your daughter got a promotion in Dallas, and I don't want to hold her up. You want the business back?" He goes, "Hell no, I'm done.
Yeah.
Sell that son of a gun." So I sold it to a foreman, our foreman that'd been with us for, man, 20 years almost, because he'd had it since the 80s.
Yeah.
He'd had the
Yeah.
business since 83. So sold it to him. And while I had it, I got really into cabinet finishing,
Hmm.
high end cabinets, a lot of high gloss, metallics. We did a lot of stuff. Actually, ended up buying a building when I had it, paint booths, did a lot of custom cabinet finishing. Craziness. Moved down to Dallas. While I had the business, I did a lot of social media. Really liked that side of it, training people, um, doing a lot of showing people the projects that we're doing, how we're doing the finishes, how to do finishing right. Got down to Dallas, was like, "Ooh, what the hell am I going to do now?" Ended up getting hit up by CIC, Centurion Wood Coatings. I said, "Hey, will you come tour the facility and do a little deal on social media about it?" So I said, "Okay." So I came and toured the facility. They showed me everything, and then they said, "Hey, will you give us a bid for doing a training program?" So I did a bid on how to develop a training program for them, and sat down with the owner. We went to dinner. Really hit it off. Tom and I hit it off really good. And he goes, "Man, I really want you to do this, but I don't want you to do it for anyone else." And I'm like, "Well, that's not really how this 1099 thing works." He goes, "I know. So why don't you just come to work for me?" And that was like almost 3 years ago.
Wow.
And man, I went from bartending and owning a painting business to on the manufacturing side, man. It just a whole 360 degrees. It was crazy.
Uh, those two stories tell me a lot about yourself. Like, I think you are a very reliable, trustworthy person that follows through on things. Like, people probably inherently trust you because that's the energy that you give off. Is that right?
I would say so. I'm of that generation that I was always taught that from a young age that if you want something, if you want if you want to be the owner, then you act like the owner.
Yeah.
Long before you're the owner. If you want more responsibility, you take that responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just something that I grew up with from my dad.
Yeah.
You know, you make decisions and you stick by that decision. You may make the wrong decision, but you'll learn that after the fact, and then you learn from that.
Yeah. 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 That's really incredible. And what was the business that you bought? It was the painting company, right? So it was a painting company.
Yeah.
So you went from
So I
having your concrete tile meet this woman. Her father was like, "Yo, come run this while I go and hang out with my boys." And then
Yep.
you start running that, doing good. He buys you out so that you could start running it full time. You run that for 12 years. Meanwhile, like, you build this life with your wife, and
Yep.
then she gets a job, moves to DFW, and then during that time, you start getting into cabinet finishing and getting good at social media and like
Yep.
showing all that. And then the owner of Centurion reached out and said, "Hey, what do you say? Like, you want? Can you develop a training program?"
Yeah, so he wanted us to. It was kind of one of his guys reached out, kind of tour the facility
Hmm.
because they were at that time Centurion had been around for a while, but they primarily focused on the OEM world.
Yeah,
So they had developed all of their coatings for the OEM market,
yeah,
and they'd been around for quite a while since '06, '07.
yeah,
But they had primarily focused. They'd perfected their coatings selling to big OEM shops,
yeah.
and they kind of wanted to break into the distribution market.
Okay.
So they were just kind of breaking into the distribution market.
Yeah,
And I did a lot with painters. I was highly involved in the social media, talking to painters, and had a lot of followers. Had a decent amount. I won't say a lot. Wouldn't say a big influencer. I had a couple thousand followers.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And in the paint world,
But you built a
that's not
community.
too
You
hard.
built a community around you
Exactly.
with
I had a trusted community.
yeah, yeah,
So it was like, tour the facility, talk about the products, see what I thought about them, and I liked them. And then so we kind of got to know each other as both entrepreneurs,
yeah,
started talking about it and say, how could we benefit from each other?
yeah,
You know, what could we do? He needed a trusted finisher that could develop a training program where we could bring people in
yeah,
and teach them how
yeah,
to use
yeah,
water
yeah.
based
I got you.
coatings.
I got you.
So,
I got you.
and then that led into, hey, I really want you on my team.
Yeah, I don't want you.
I don't
I
want
don't
you as
want
a
you doing
contractor.
this for anybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's basically it's like you found some people that believed in you because you did a good job, and they're like, "Boom! I'm put all chips are on you. Let's go!" Right? That's so cool,
let's
man.
get to it. Let's get to work. And
That's
we've
so
been
cool.
working hard. And I think I've found something that I'm really passionate about. One is wood coatings. And second, like when I took over and bought my father-in-law's business, he had 6 guys. And then when I sold it, we had 12 guys.
Nice.
Besides wood coatings, like growing a
You
business,
love
I
that
think
stuff.
it's so much fun.
Can I tell you something? This is not just for this conversation, but this is for the audience. Can you just talk about the leveling up and the awesome responsibility of creating something that provides for other people beyond yourself? Could you just talk about that a little bit?
Man, that is it's it's twofold,
Yeah.
honestly. Let's Being able to lay your head down at night and know that something that you do, something that you have done and you have fought and scratched and clawed for, not only creates opportunity and the roof for your family,
Yeah.
but 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 other families.
Yeah.
And you, not solely you,
Yeah.
but you have a huge role in play and helping those other people and those other kids have roofs over their heads. That is, to me, incredibly satisfying. And it makes that drive so much more. That drive, it's hard to explain the drive that it gets you to go for more business. But on the flip side, it takes a special
It
person.
takes
Like
a special person. Yeah. It's not
it
everybody's
can keep
built for it. Not everybody's built for it.
it can keep you up at night. Like, I mean, there was times at night when yeah, I don't, how am I got to go get that check. That guy's not wanting to pay me.
Sure,
I
sure.
got
I
bills to
got
pay.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here's another thought too is like I love the idea that if God puts you in a position to be a leader, that I think if God's trusting you to put yourself in that position, that you should probably take it. Don't you think?
I would agree.
Yeah.
Like, God doesn't give you anything that he knows that you can't handle. And if he's putting you there, then he knows you can handle it. Don't run away from it.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I feel exactly because the biggest thing really is like it's that small thinking that we don't deserve greatness, don't thinking that we don't deserve, abundance and wealth and opportunities and the chance to like make an impact on people. Like it's 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 that kind of limited thinking that keeps people small, right?
100%. Yeah. Well, and it's that thinking that holds you back, but it's also like, I mean, you see it all the time on social media. You never know what someone's going through, but you never know what makes a difference in someone's life.
Yeah.
I mean, the small things. It's not the huge things
Yeah.
that make people don't expect the great things, but people just want to be appreciated.
Yeah.
I mean, the small things of when I had my business, and still today when I get my guys, it's like the unexpected, taking donuts into work or bringing in anything, just saying, "Hey, man, I appreciate the hard work you guys are doing," or just walking around in the morning, giving them a fist bump and saying, "Hey, man, how's your morning going?
Yeah.
How's Johnny? How's Becky? How are the kids? Hey, your kid was sick. Are they doing better?" Just the fact that they know
Yeah.
that you know their kids' names or their wife's names, that you care.
Yeah.
That's all they want. They just want to be appreciated.
Yeah. 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 So you got this new gig, new title. It's a slight change from like being the
Yes,
boss, right? Um,
that is true.
but
It's kind of nice.
yeah, talk about your current role and what do you do?
All right, so I being the director of sales and marketing. So at Centurion Wood Coatings, like I said, primary focus is water based. So we sell through distribution. Our primary customer is paint stores.
Yeah.
So we sell to like your Benjamin Moore paint stores, PPG, your independent paint stores. That's where we focus.
Yeah.
Being a privately owned company,
Yeah.
not entirely massive. We're not a corporation. We like to focus on the small guys,
Yeah.
the small independent guys. We don't sell direct to customers. So what I get to do now is I get to go out with my team. I've got 4 guys, awesome guys. We go all across the country and we get to talk to these independent paint store owners and tell them the benefits of an industrial grade product and how it's going to benefit them,
Mm,
the money that they can make off selling our product and how much better it is than some of these large box stores,
yeah.
some of the huge stuff, and how they can go and compete against that, how they're going to compete against the guys that, we don't want to name
Yeah.
on here
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
get in
No,
trouble.
no free press. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's really fun. I mean, you got to get some travel. I don't travel as much as I probably would like to. I've got 2 little kiddos,
Yeah.
so but it is nice getting out to travel a little bit. I think right now we've got about 86 distributors
Sick.
all throughout coast to coast, which is really awesome. We've just grown leaps and bounds over the last 3 years.
Mm,
We're in about 103 different stores across the country.
okay.
Um, actually, over in Bermuda, which is really awesome.
That's awesome.
We've got some guys reaching out in the UK and in Canada, and even in down in the Virgin Islands and in Hawaii that want to carry our product in Alaska,
Yeah.
which is amazing. I mean, we don't. Our advertising is Instagram, social media. So it's just awesome seeing the reach that a really superior product can get. That's you know it's made in America. That's a key thing
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us. All of our resin come from the U.S. Everything is sourced here. We don't bring anything over from overseas. We make everything in our facility, ship everything out of Texas. So we're really proud of that.
That's awesome.
That's huge for us.
Talk to about the products. Like what specific products do you have and who are they for?
So our products are primarily for professional use.
Yeah.
Okay, so our products are primarily for your cabinet makers, your professional painters. So we keep it, I mean, I like to say stupid simple. We have
Yeah.
our product line is a 2K product and a 1K product.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. We don't get far outside of that.
Yeah.
We have some specialty coatings, but we have our 2800 series, which is primarily it is a 2K water-based polyurethane.
Yeah.
By 2K, it means it's a two component,
Yeah.
as most guys know out there. So you've got your base, and then you've got a hardener slash catalyst.
Yeah.
So that hardener catalyst, it kind of gives you the scratch mark resistant, your chemical resistance. It's like a 2K polyurethane in the water-based world. My best explanation, what I tell people, is if you had an old school conversion varnish and an old school um, uh, satin Impervo
Yeah.
had a baby. You get flexibility and you of the Impervo, and you get the durability of the conversion varnish. That's a that's a water-based 2K polyurethane.
Yeah.
Across the industry, ours has the best chemical resistance and probably some of the brightest white that you'll find out there.
Mm.
Killer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. And then our 400 series is our self cross linking acrylic. A lot of acrylic enamels out there they sell cross linkers for.
Mm-hmm.
It's built into our resin, so you don't need to buy a cross linker. You don't need to buy another component. It's
Yeah.
a self cross linking acrylic.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like water based precat, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it gets its durability because it's hard, because it gets hard and can be a little brittle, but it's going to dry fast. It's probably one of the fastest drying acrylic enamels out there. So a lot of guys that are using precat lacquers find it really nice because they can go into a new construction house, they can finish it in one day
Yeah.
with a complete water based system. But and it's affordable. It's not going to break the bank with precats, but that's it. I mean, we've got primers. We've got a 1K, 2K primer, the 1111, which we released earlier well, I guess now it's last year, mid-year last year. That's really taken off. 5% hardener, and it'll block tannins. That's really blowing the market out of the water. Um, then we've got our single component architectural primer, which is mainly built for MDF and new wood, the 1108,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then the 1107 is our 2K full 2K primer, which is, I mean, the Cadillac of primers. I mean, anybody out there that knows Centurion knows the 1107 is just the end all be all. It's the bulletproof primer. If you're worried about anything, you put the 1107 on there and it'll block, encapsulate any sort of smoke, tannin, anything.
So yeah, so
But I mean,
it
that's it.
sounds like it sounds like it's really pro use industrial grade for when people are, like heavy use spaces and spaces that need a lot of durability. That's your target market.
Yeah, target market. Yeah, it's millwork, architectural. You're
Hmm.
trimming your house, stuff that you don't want to repaint
Yeah.
every 2 years. Our 400 series. It's a 5 to 7 year paint, and I would say the 2800 series of 2K. I mean, it's every bit of a 20-year paint,
Wow.
20 to 30 year
Yeah.
paint.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the last trim paint you're gonna put on.
That's fascinating. How do you find your distributors? Like, because obviously it's not everybody that is the right person, the right distributor for you. How do you find the distributor, or what's the makeup of the distributor for you?
Our distributors, honestly, are a lot. A lot of them come to us, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of them come to us by the end users.
Okay.
A lot of time we'll get end users reach out to us and say, "Hey, I'm in this area, and this is my local store. Can you call them?" Or I called them and they said they want to carry your product.
Yeah.
We do. We get a lot of distributors that way, and then we get distributors reach out to us and be like, "Hey, so and so came by here. They ordered your product online and they brought it to me. Want to know if I'll bring it in? What do I need to do to bring it in?"
Yeah.
We're a member of a co-op called All Pro. It's a buying co-op. It's a nationwide buying co-op of independent paint stores,
Mm.
and they do a couple shows a year, and it's fantastic group of all independent paint stores. They talk a lot. If they have a product that does really well, they tell each other, "Hey, Jim, call Zach over at CIC, the Centurion products, doing amazing. I brought it in. We're doing great with it. They come in, they train you. I see them once a month. You need to call them and bring it in. You'll do really well.
So
And then we look at demographics too.
and you look at what?
We look at demographics through marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So I do a lot of social media marketing and see what age groups, men, women, age groups are looking at our posts, liking them,
Mm-hmm.
clicking on our ads, and then I'll see the demographic of an area of people that are buying houses, that are remodeling houses, and we'll target ads to that group, and then we'll go to paint stores that are in that area that have a demographic like that. So try to do a little targeted demographic marketing.
You're a ninja.
I mean, I try to be. I try to be sneaky.
That's very ninja of you right there. Yeah, you got. I mean,
You got to do
and
what you got to do.
Texas is blowing up too, right? So like, there's probably just a lot of opportunities to just even make money in your own backyard, right?
It is insane. I moved down here from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
That's where I originally lived, and we moved to DFW. I had no idea.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
I was reading an article when we first moved down here. They said by 25, DFW will outpace Chicago. It will overtake Chicago. It'll be over 10 million.
Yeah. No, I heard that too. Yeah. Yeah. That's wild.
I mean,
That's wild. Yeah.
I came from the whole state of Oklahoma has like 3.6 million. There's like 9 million in DFW.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. That's
Oh
crazy.
man, and then oh man, there are so many people in Dallas, and it's just keep coming. The economy, they say it's slowing down, but here in Dallas, it just hasn't. They just keep
It
building.
just keeps growing. Yeah. Hey everyone, Steve here. I've been thinking a lot about how we can all push our wood businesses forward, especially in these times when adapting and innovating are more important than ever. That's why I'm thrilled to introduce something brand new from Woodpreneur Podcast, and it's the Woodpreneur Live Sawmill and Lumber Business Summit. Mark your calendars for May 17th because we're creating a space where you can dive deep into the latest strategies for marketing, branding, and scaling your business. And here's the cool part. It's entirely up to you how you want to experience this. Join us virtually from your workshop or in person at Woodmiser in Portland, Oregon. Either way, you're going to be part of a community looking to grow and thrive together. This summit is the kickoff to our Woodpreneur Live series, focusing on bringing actionable insights to every niche within the woodworking and sawmill and lumber industry business owners. And you're up first. We got a lineup that's going to blow you away. Real talk from real experts who understand the nitty gritty of our trade. You want in? Head over to woodpreneur.com/live. Once again, that's woodpreneur.com/live to get on the wait list. Being on this list means that you get first dibs on registration because space will be limited. I look forward to seeing you at one of the upcoming Woodpreneur Lives, and head over and get yourself registered. Take care. All right. So this is a part of the podcast where I give you any marketing or business advice. Is there anything that you need help with or something you need to think through that could give you some advice on?
Man, I would love to know how. Like, I feel like we do okay in using Instagram marketing tools,
Mm-hmm.
but I cannot break that 10K followers.
Yeah.
That one is just kicking me in the butt. Like,
Yeah.
how do you break that? Like, how do you break that next level?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, no, I got you. So it is very hard, and you have to work really, really hard to like if you're stuck, and it's mainly because like if you keep posting the same thing, you kind of like you get the same results, right? And so,
Yeah,
in just looking at your social media and at least on Instagram is I think the one thing that so like I'll give you an example of what I did. So I have that I started the hashtags Woodpreneur, and I also started the hashtag Sawmill Business. And one of the things that I did, and is something that you can easily do, is to have create your own branded hashtag, right?
Okay.
And it's like made by Centurion or Centurion Strong or just something just that. And then what you do is you go to every single end user, and send them a DM and say, use this hashtag so that we can repost you. Do not post any, maybe some in-house sort of content, but you only post you only post user generated content. That's what I would do. And then you give them some advice and some tips on things that will help them grow themselves. And so, say
Okay.
time lapses, before and afters,
Yeah.
reels, like just coach them on how to create the right content so that A, they can blow up, and B, you can share it on their account, on your account, and then get more traffic towards them. Just like this little two-way street.
Okay.
Because they're posting to get clients, you're posting
Yeah.
to grow your audience of more people like them who can then go to their paint distributor and say, hey, carry Centurion. So you're really a B2B type of person, except that you're not
Exactly.
doing direct to consumer, right? However, if you are literally sharing all of the power users and just like sharing, showing them how to like use social media to grow their own businesses, then they'll start feeding you more content. And then the more you feed content, and I would really tap into the power of either faceless videos or trending sounds, right? Faceless videos with words on it because that's hot right now, um, and trending sounds, and literally just kind of pay like as you scroll through your explore page, make sure maybe on another Instagram account, just like make note or save or share the trending sounds on like like popular sounds that are blowing. And if you can notice it because there's an arrow that goes up next to the sound, right? And so
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So save those, and then
Okay.
add those as the music to the repurposed. And like if you just post one or two times a day, you must have thousands of users right now, right? Like you selling,
Yeah.
so you just need to get all of them together. So that's one thing. The second thing is, and it goes back uh, to just the community together, is I would uh, create a Facebook group for your users.
Yeah. We have a private. We have a private Facebook group
For who?
for our Centurion users.
How many people are in there?
We have like 6 or 7 thousand in there.
So literally, that's your group of people. I would post in there and say, hey guys, we want to get you more attention and business, and start using this hashtag. And I would even run a contest to get these folks in there. And then here's the other thing. The other thing is, you'll notice which ones start popping off and getting more
Mhm.
views, then boost them. That's what you do. You boost them, and then do profile visits so you get more eyeballs on your profile, so that
Yeah.
your account reach should be like, and I would put like, $5 or $10 per day on each one. And then what I would do after that is set up like one of those Manny chat things, like, hey, are you a painter, or or an end user, and then have them say, I'm a painter, and I'm like, great, these are our distributors, right? And if you're an end user, if you're somebody that wants to have this in your house, these are a list of approved painters that you can hire based off of your location. You know what I mean? So like, build it literally. I guess my question, my thing is like, it's a little bit bigger than just get breaking past 10,000.
Yeah.
However, I totally think that you can build this painting group. Whew, you got 6 or 7,000 end users. Get them to reshare, and then two or B is to um, help them to buy more of your products by promoting them. And just like, I mean, look, you even go in and just like offer marketing classes, right? Like you used to have
Yeah.
a painting companies like offer marketing classes, right? Like offer like best trends on how to do this and this and this. And like you can have a Centurion uh, power user live summit.
Uh-huh.
We invite people and your distributors down to your location, and the people, like, you can run a contest to say like who's the people that host the most, like share the most, right? Like you get a free flight to
Yeah.
come and visit us, right?
Yeah. We've been talking about a Centurion training program, like a
And
premium
make it fun.
training
Like make it
seminar.
fun, right? Like make it like, hey,
Yeah.
Centurion play, like you get a DJ, you get like dunk tanks, you get to dunk the owner, right? Like you just make it super fun and build a
Okay.
community so that people will be like, yo, Centurion is like, man, these guys are like fun. This is a brand that I want to be a part of, as
I
opposed to
got you.
like, another competitor where you're like, oh, sure, they got a lot of money and whatever. But like, I mean, I have clients who they've gotten the big brands try to fly them out and do stuff. Um, but
Yeah.
but like they get invited to things, but they gotta like pay for them. It's not. It's like
Yeah.
this veiled appearance of inclusivity, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, just like have a certification, but like certification program. You just like, but that's essentially it. Just like use your 6 or 7,000 people. I mean, like, let me look to see. I mean, do you have a branded hashtag?
Man, the only I don't know if I have a branded one.
Centurion Wood.
I think Centurion Wood or Centurion Wood Coatings.
Yes.
Centurion Wood would.
Centurion Wood Coatings has 1,700 posts.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean that's usually what most guys use is Centurion or Centurion Wood Coatings.
So, are you reposting those?
Yeah, typically. I don't actually. I mean, when you say reposting them, I don't necessarily go in and search for those and repost
Yeah, dude, that's what you got
when
to
they.
do. Like, if the go to that hashtag and literally
Yeah.
everybody that posts on that hashtag and say, "Hey, continued using on this. Join our group. We're doing more trainings." And then in the group, be like, "Hey, guys, we want to get the Centurion hashtag at the end of 2024 to be up to like 5 or 6,000, even 10,000, and just like boom, 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 get everybody to just start using it more."
So more of the hashtag than actually tagging us.
Yes, that's how you build.
I
That's
gotcha.
how you build community. And then I would even add another one, just like Centurion Wood Pro, and
Okay.
these are for like the elite level, like the elite, right? I mean, look, I'm just let me see if there's looking at Fortitude Painting. You know those guys?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Fortitude.
Fortitude.
Vilches painting 165. Like, yo, Vilches, post more so that you can get more business. Tom Pro painting, be like, hey Tom Pro, you need a profile picture. You're not gonna get it. Like, you gotta look at them like, I want to make you more money. Because what happens when you make more money? You buy more of our products.
You buy more paint. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like this boom,
Okay.
boom,
I
boom,
got
boom,
you.
boom. Is that helpful?
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely helpful. Just spend like an hour and go through that. I've never even thought about searching hashtags and see who's tagged us.
Hashtags are powerful. Hashtags are like, hashtags are a community. You know what I mean? Like, they're literally a
Oh,
community. Um, and
God, that's genius.
yeah, it's hashtags like made my career, literally. Like, hashtags made it possible for me to even build an audience, because you're tapping into a niche, and then after
Yeah.
that, then you create your own branded hashtag, and then you encourage people to join that. So for the folks that are listening, this isn't for everybody. This is more like if you
Yeah.
sell to other businesses or if you have a brand. However, you can tap into hashtags for local communities. So, like, I'll give everybody an example. My father-in-law, most people know that I got into this business because my father-in-law, he runs a sawmill business, and that's how I got into it, like sawmill lumber, whatever. And I was just helping him grow, and I just got curious because I'm a marketer about like this industry. That's how I just got into it, right? Like, he's a builder, woodworker, furniture maker, like he does everything. And so as I started growing his Instagram, I noticed, I was like, you know what? He's in mid Michigan. College sports are big. The biggest college around him is Michigan State University. So I started tagging Michigan using the hashtag Michigan State University, or MSU or whatever, in his Facebook posts. I mean, in his Instagram posts. And then next thing you know, a professor contacted him for work. And then that same professor referred him to other professors. And then he started doing work for the assistant college basketball coach. Because you have tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of people tapping into a power of a hashtag. And so everybody's like using this hashtag, and imagine your stuff just in that hashtag. How much you'd stand out just for people searching it. You know what I mean? So like, it's
Yeah.
super duper powerful. So you can like, and the way you now, right now you can even follow hashtags. So like in your feed, you can follow hashtags and then start engaging. So I would put like the people that you hashtag for your competitors, start following them. And then you can set up a program where you're like, you know what? I have this distributor. Part of your distributor deal is that you'll give them a couple extra sample kits because everybody wants to sample, right?
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey,
Always.
look, you're in McKinney, Texas. This is our guy. This is our distributor in McKinney, Texas. Tell him that Zach sent you over, and use this code word here, and he'll give you a sample. And you can start sniping your competitors.
That is genius.
Yeah, man. That's what I would do.
That's all right. I'm definitely
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I got some homework.
You got some homework. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Anyway, uh dude, this was fun talking to you. Your story is wild.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine, sometimes I think about like certain life circumstances. Like for me, I remember like the first time I met my wife, right? Like we had never talked. We'd never met in person, but I was in New York, she was in Los Angeles, and then like without us knowing each other, we saw each other, and we knew that there was like this connection, but we didn't know that we had been talking on the phone for like a couple months. And so for me, I'm like, and so when I think about your story, I'm like, dang, you're a bartender. You got this woman that comes in with bad stories, and then you start dating, and then you take over, and then it just puts you into this path.
This career that I never would have thought about.
And then I'm like, I mean, to go back to God, like God works in mysterious ways, right? Like puts you in places where,
Dude, it gets a little weirder. Like I was married with my high school sweetheart, and we were married for 3 years, and we just said, it's not working.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I said I was done, I'm not getting married again. And this girl walks in the bar and just pours it out about these idiots that she's going on dates with. And the first time she walks out, I was like, shit.
I guess I'm gonna have to go back on my word.
I was like, man.
Dude, that's
But
wild.
it's,
That's
I mean,
wild. That's a wild story. That's like,
you can say all you want, man. Whatever he's got planned out, you can't change it. He's got it all worked out.
what's that expression? We plan, God laughs. You hear that
Yeah.
expression? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh-huh.
We plan, God laughs. Yeah, yeah. I can't believe I talked about God so much on this podcast, but today on this episode, I don't normally do this stuff, but yeah, I've been at least on this podcast, just going a little deeper to go a little bit, just like the people behind all of this, because it's not just about what we do, it's why we do it, how we do it. I think
Yeah,
that makes a big difference. So
it does. I'd say the other last thing that I would be curious to get your brain on is how you do this more. Like this is fun to me.
yeah,
Like doing podcasts. Like how do you get to do this more?
you gotta almost like build your life around it. So like I really, really, really love conversations, and I could tell you like conversations too, right?
Yeah.
Um, so for me, I keep thinking about like, what would it look like if I can? So, there's a book that you should read. I mentioned this on the podcast before. It's called 10x is easier than 2x, right? And I'll text it to you. The other one is called Who Not How. And so 10x is easier than 2x really talks about how in our lives and our jobs we're normally operating, we're doing stuff that we're not really meant to do. And if we were to only focus on the 20% of what we're meant to do, and our 20% is our unique ability, 80% is 80% is I mean, how do you say, it's just like you basically have other people do it, right? Like you, so that when you are operating in your 80%, um
Yeah.
you have energy all the time. You're like, that's how you get so much more done. And then with the 80%, the his other book is called Who Not How. Is like you find not how can you do it, it's like who can help me get there. Does that make sense?
Oh yes.
And it's really a mindset, because it goes uh counterintuitive to how tradespeople and woodworkers operate, because they do everything, 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 everything. And
Yeah.
then, but the pain threshold is super high. So people in the trades can eat shit for a very long time and say this is just part of life. And meanwhile, there's this whole other set of the world that is like, nah,
Just let people do it for you.
that's not just have people do it for you. And part of it is like this scarcity mindset too. Is like, if I gotta pay somebody, they're gonna take more of it, and blah blah blah. And even when it comes to like business, like people like, yeah, I don't want to partner, I don't want to hire people, nobody can do it as good as me. I'm like, that's dumb, that's selfish, and it's dumb. And um like the richest person in the world, Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, whoever, like people don't know that like Jeff Bezos owns 1% of Amazon.
Yeah.
He's made hundreds of people billionaires in the process. Like, you don't have to own everything. The same thing with
Yeah.
your job and responsibility. You don't need to own everything. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's kind of like
Yeah.
But if you're operating in your 20%, then you're just like you have the energy to do this because you built your life and your business around this kind of stuff.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah, I learned a long time ago that yeah, you don't got to be the smartest guy in the room. You just need to surround yourself with the smartest people in the room, and you look like a freaking
For
genius.
sure, for sure, for sure, dude. So tell everybody your website so that folks can follow you.
Website, Centurion Wood Coatings, centurionwoodcoatings.com. Instagram is Centurion Wood,
Yep.
and you can also follow me on my personal, which is the Bearded Finisher, at the Bearded Finisher and at Centurion Wood Instagram. Give me a follow.
Cool. Oh yeah, I'm
All
gonna follow
right.
you, the bearded finisher. That's awesome. Cool, man. Thank you so much for your time. It was a fun conversation. Thank you so much, Zach.
Yeah, it was. Appreciate it, Steve. Don't forget, text me those books. I want to go check them out.
I will. I will. Take care. Bye.